Hey guys, it's God Bards here, the self-proclaimed hip-hop historian, and this is the 288th episode of my series, where I grab a vinyl from my collection, talk about why I love it, what influence it has, and what its place is in the grand scheme of hip-hop. So, to be honest with you guys, I really can't say why it took so long to cover a project from Brooklyn's own Your Old Droog, as he's been an insanely consistent and talented MC I've been keeping an eye on for about a decade now. But either way, it's high time I discussed a full-length project from this dude, because I've always respected the way he surgically puts verses together. And I would even say there was a good period of time where Droog was one of the top influences on my writing style personally, or at least his witty, creative wordplay and wide range of references to everything from old school comedy like Smothers Brothers, to alternative artists from the 60s and 70s like Frank Zappa. If you were around when Droog initially came out and made a splash on the scene, you may remember how before people actually saw him in music videos or interviews with guys like Peter Rosenberg, there was a theory floating around for a period of time that it was actually Nas under an alias, which gained a lot of steam and was actually kind of understandable and even somewhat believable for a while, with the similarities in their vocal tones, clever pens, and New York accents and references. But following the release of his 2014 self-titled full-length, as well as the Kinnison LP that dropped the following year, he would quickly become one of the most consistent and steadily improving younger MCs on the rise, collaborating with countless underground East Coast contemporaries and honing his style. The third official studio project he would put out is the one that personally introduced me to Droog, and also it's the topic of today's video, that being 2017's PAX, which is probably my favorite album this guy has to his name, though right on its heels would be other top-tier releases of his like 2019's It Wasn't Even Close, or 2020's Dump YOD Crew Toy Edition. The reason this project floats to the top of the pile for me when it comes to this growing discography is because of how ridiculously consistent it is from top to bottom, and it's riddled with personality and innovative ideas, like the decision to recruit stand-up comedian Anthony Jeselnik to perform these short but fun one-liners that act as little skits at certain points to break up the pace, with Jeselnik basically playing the role of a radio host or DJ. The production on this thing hasn't aged a day, and Droog was so on point with his writing all across PAX that it's a struggle to try and narrow down which verses I want to read from, but the first one I decided to go with comes on the track Bangladesh, which actually features themes of Das Racist and Sweatshop Boys, who I have to mention because he kills his guest verse as well. But the one I actually want to share is from Your Old Droog, and it fittingly starts with Bangladesh. At 16 my slang was fresh, I would not tire, spitting hot fire in the sesh, or on the voicemail like John Tesh. Couldn't see me in the flesh, you're better off silent like Depeche. You know my stilo, tranquilo since Jordan made the shot on Elo. If you don't know anything, know that YOD nice. Check my closet, see low like 3 dice. And I ain't even ahead, thieving for bread. Bandit with a candle lit, grieving the dead, I said. I'm all disheveled, the stress levels is high, as I try to make sense of the time that whizzed by. Saw the looks dilapidate at a rapid rate, used to be virile for the ports made me sterile, this terrible sun chronicles and cock blocking perils. But I dust myself off, rocking my apparel. Former cokeheads like Doc and Daryl still came in this lock, stock, and barrel. While I was making sure every bar is hard, you herbs were playing Pokemon chasing Charizard. I peeped the scenery, sipping green tea, the old head dropped gems in the yard like Mr. Feeney. Now I'm pulling up to leanly with Santini Houdini in a zucchini-colored Lamborghini. There's countless other dope verses from YOD on here, but I think the other one I'm gonna bring up has to come from a feature, because Edon's guest spot on the track Help, which also features Wiki of Rat King, is the type of personal favorite that I just can't pass up the opportunity to share. This veteran of alternative hip-hop takes the third verse of the song by storm, rapping, "Take two of the man with soul that you probably know, deadly as Scarface with cocaine cardio. Haynes circa 89 audio, pardon yo long-nose Pinocchio studio portfolio. Braggadocio, toe-to-toe rap rodeo. Your homie know he won't be going alone. Lasso his nose, pull him over slow, throw the KO. In a showcase of total control to catch kudos. Hetsuo, prior to part 2 though, set fire to our nouveau, who gon' block the judo chop, your crew too slow to do so. New style ninjas, I laid the challenge worse than Bruce vs. Luau Cinder, remember. The less you need, the more healthy. The bells compel me to rock, so God help me. I already brought up most of the features from this album, like Wiki, Edon, and Heems, but there are a couple more guest appearances I haven't mentioned yet in the form of Chris Crack and Danny Brown. The production on here is handled by a number of impressive names, including Edon, Edan, RTNC, Nice Rec, The Purist, The Alchemist, and 88 Keys. When it comes to my top 3 favorite tracks overall on this one, I would definitely have to choose Help, Bangladesh, and Grandma Hips. Then for honorable mentions that didn't quite make the top of the pile but still deserve a shout out, I want to recommend songs like GKAC or Gotta Kill a Cop, I Only, White Rappers, A Good Guest, You Can Do It, Give Up, Rap Man, and Winston Red. Thank you for watching my 288th review. Next time we are discussing a group I brought up in this review, so look for that one, and if you enjoyed, be sure to like, subscribe, and let me know what tracks you return to the most from this 2010s gem. Don't forget to have a great day, and I'll see you next time, okay? Alright.